Hi, my name is Shalika. Um, I'm trying to put in like response to the homework case study. The Does the milk taste funny? Case study. Um, yes, I believe the milk tastes funny. Based on the read for the background of George Paul, the company as a whole, which is Eastern Dairy. Well, what I've come to conclusion with is that the overall ethical dilemma that I've spotted out would have to do with the organizational culture, which I believe has a great influence on the ethical predicament of the company. The culture like they have in place is that employees never had any commitment to work, and management as well doesn't seem to be that much vested in trying to know what employees are doing or are not doing. It seemed all that management is interested in is getting their production, meeting their production for the day, making sure that they're able to meet their demands and supplies for the next day. So more or less that is all that they're interested in. There were no responsibilities taken by both management and the employees. Of course, again, going back to it's all about the number of productions they are able to meet for the day, and that's it. So the P's have actually outlined that management does not have any supervisors or a supervisor to monitor and control, especially the night shift, which only comprises of 6 ordinary employees, who amongst them being Paul, trying to assume the leadership responsibility, but not really being properly trained on how to partake in leadership decisions and I could say leadership management decisions especially. So it's just all about Paul being given the targets and him making sure that he meets it and with the rest of the employees for that shift. So this kind of negligence from management's end, I would say, is the foundation for the ethical dilemma, because you just cannot leave you are a production company and you need to have a system in place, not just to produce whatever you have budgeted, but making sure that people are doing what they are supposed to, and they're actually doing it in compliance with the organization's policies. But you don't just leave them to doing whatever they want and them feeling like it's okay as far as I meet whatever deadline I've been giving. No, they need to be supervised, they need to be checked. There needs to be checks and balances. Yes, that's the word. From the case study, it is obvious that Paul, of course, the self acclaimed leader, has adapted to this culture of being irresponsible and being non adherent to the moral principles. Again, obviously, there don't seem to be any guarded principles in the company, so I wouldn't blame him for being a self-acclaimed leader for the night shift crew, because it's just stuff that he's seen management, like the way he's seen management acting over the years, obviously, and not showing any interest in whatever that he does during the night shift. So it shows that Paul's main aim is just to produce the specific target assigned to him no matter what, of course. And this carefree attitude clearly exhibits the culture of the organization, which is clearly outlined on the case study as well. On the other hand, the causes for the situation are lack of adequate training for the employees and non-positioning for employees. So obviously we've seen or read how George was actually recruited. He just went for an interview during the day and was asked to start work during the night shift, and he was just thrown to the wolves like that without being trained or without being giving the necessary protocols that is expected for every organization to have in place. So, which actually led to, of course, George finding out their maggots in the machines, and well, as per his employment, he was never told, I don't believe, if who is his manager or supervisor during the night shift. So obviously it's Paul who is claiming the leadership position, and he doesn't seem to care about whatever is in the mixed products. All he cares about is just meeting his given targets for the day. So going back to having these productions being actually distributed out to their consumers, I believe that's gonna be really detrimental to the company as a whole, because if end users, obviously the end consumers, having to consume this product and getting sick, obviously they're gonna sue the company, and I believe they're gonna spend a lot more money trying to settle people than the amount of money they're gonna lose is gonna be much more than how much they were gonna lose having to forgo that production that was made for that night. So it's but again, they wouldn't get to know about it, hence Paul, who of course is the self-claimed supervisor for the night shift, is not in any way willing or going to let management know of whatever that transpired the night before. And George, on the other hand, is kind of skeptical on what to do because he doesn't want to be given names by the rest of the crew. And he's just in a dilemma. But again, if I were in his position, I would just go ahead and table it out to management and let them know what actually went wrong the night before and to all the mixtures that were actually being processed. I think doing that would definitely would save the company billions than just letting those produced mixtures being distributed to consumers. I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me. Yeah, based off of what I've learned in this class is like it's a lot actually, and like principles of management, I've get to realize that it's really broad and it shapes you in all aspects of like management branches. Yes, that having to do with the principles, the techniques, and concepts needed for managerial analysis and decision making, especially. The course also highlights the effective management of planning organizations and influencing and controlling to the internal and external environmental and issues of ethical and social responsibilities of every organization. Yeah. I'm sorry though, I sound horrible because my allergies are not behaving, but it was a pleasure being in your class. And again, there's a lot to take away from this class. Although, unfortunately, I would have preferred taking it face to face rather than online. I believe I would have, it would have been more interactive, it being a face to face class than online. Yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for your time. And all the best. Well, to me, of course. Bye bye.